Nick Baroni from Craigsville First Baptist Church, and he'd like to open us up.
Thank you. Let's bow. Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come to you today. Your word says if we call upon you, you'll answer us and show us great mighty things which we know nothing about. Father, I lift up this commission to you, and I just pray that you give them wisdom today in every decision they make. Father, as they reach out to meet the needs of others, may you meet every one of their needs. Father, I pray this time will draw us closer to you and also closer together as a community. And we just want to thank you and pray everything in your precious name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, Nancy? Okay, good morning, everybody. This is Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. This is the regularly scheduled meeting for the Nicholas County Commission. And our first item, we'll do public comment, or you want to do our stuff first? Let's do our stuff.
Okay. So, okay. I'll make a motion to review, waive, and approve the minutes of March 4th, 2026 as presented.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is
Aye.
carried.
One review of state and fiduciary matters as presented by the Nicholas County Clerk. Make a motion to approve accordingly unless otherwise noted.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Upon review of the estate and fiduciary matters as presented by the Nicholas County Clerk, I make a motion to approve accordingly.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
One submission of budget revisions received from the elected officials and department heads. Make a motion to take appropriate action as deemed necessary.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Upon review of the invoices as submitted by various departmental offices, the Commission will take the appropriate action as deemed necessary.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay, do we have anybody for any of the terms of offices?
Now I make a motion to table the Nicholas County Parks and Recreation Commission seats for Tracy Spencer and Roger Ridgway.
There is a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
I'll make a motion to table the seat available in the Nicholas County Health Department.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, public comment. This morning we have Todd Russell and Tony Van Hooser.
Yeah.
Would like to talk to us briefly about the West Virginia Appalachian Statement.
Just pass it. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, I'd just like to come in and give an update on our operation over at the Calvin location. The state mill, we are under all new management from when we first arrived. And we want to keep, we understand that an open relationship comes with communication. We haven't had communication with the building commission or the county commission in the past. With new management, we want to do better with that. That's why we're here to give this update. We are, the industry is slow for the barrel market itself. Just recently in February, one of our competitors closed a cooperage down in Smith County, Virginia, Speyside. Big distilleries are closing. But right now, we're in the state. We have 3 state mills in our company. Calvin is the only one that we have employees at. We only have 4 full-time employees at Calvin right now, which we understand we're not up to par. We're looking at ways to get employment back. We're looking at maybe cutting some pallet material, making pallets. We're doing log resales. Anything that we can, we're open for suggestions also. What we can do, the mill is a little bit versatile, so we can do other things besides the barrels. So just wanted to come here. We will be attending to give a update better than what we have in the past, and open for all suggestions, and that's why we're here today.
What are you contributing to all of this happening in your industry that we thought could never fail?
The whiskey sales, they just, you got the inventories, you got the financial pressures on the distilleries, export sales, and all of that affects us, which, I mean, if they're not selling barrels, we can't produce the wood to make them. The industry's down. The industry data shows that Kentucky Warehouse now contains over 16 million aging barrels of bourbon, which is the highest level ever recorded. I mean, hopefully we can outlast some of the competitors. That's our main goal. So
Understood.
is to get employment back in Nicholas County.
Right.
What's happening with your main customer is White Sulphur? Are they just building the barrels?
We are, that's our father company, I guess, mother company. We are part of them. The orders has dropped off. They're targeting, right now, we're trying to target at craft distillers to move some barrels, because your bigger distillers, actually Jim Beam, they just idled down their biggest distillery. They're not gonna produce nothing in '26.
Because they have a backlog.
Yeah, backlog. COVID hit, industry was booming, everybody overproduced, and just the supply and demand needs to catch up again. We're just trying to weather through the storm to keep our part going.
But I've seen some national reporting, not even just regional. Young Americans don't drink whiskey like older generations
They're
do.
more into the White Claws and
Yeah.
the fruity drinks instead of the
Fruity
bourbon.
Yeah. So, I
What
mean,
type of
that's-
backlog do you guys have right now?
The backlog on the
Like the stays that you've got out in White Sulphur?
at White Sulphur. Actually, we've been producing once a week at the Calvin location. We have probably about 2 loads ready to ship, but we're just letting it air dry here before we ship it down some. But what we have on the yard, I'm not sure footage-wise what we have, but at the cooperage, I know we're slowly bringing in logs, which we're trying to do log resales. We're just trying to do some cash flow
Yep, this is
or
a lot.
to keep our heartbeat going. We got a little bit of a heartbeat now. We just don't want to flatline.
Right. And I think that's what we looked at, we wanted to convey that when we went into this partnership, is it was all about economic impact on Nicholas County and through jobs, full-time employment, stuff like that, so
Yeah.
definitely appreciate the updates. And I guess my question was, if the market opened wide open tomorrow, do you have a backlog that you would work through and then start cutting again?
There's not much.
Okay, yeah, that's kinda what I was getting at,
Yeah,
the
it's-
question.
That's kind of what we're doing now, because the longer you age a stave, the more premium barrel you can get.
Mhm.
We just don't have nothing aging, because you don't know where to produce it and let it.
Right, that's it, understood.
Okay, thanks, sir.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it.
Okay, our next presenter is Lauren Cook, Regional Strategist, and Supervisor Stacy Rogers for Best Friends Animal Society, funding for the animal shelter.
Thank you. Very pass it down for you. We'll raise your setup here. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for having us today. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what we do, what we've done in West Virginia, and then Lauren's going to talk more about Nicholas County and what we can offer. Best Friends is a national animal welfare organization. So we have a big sanctuary in Utah, which is what, if anybody has heard of us, usually they've heard of. But I think what really makes us unique is that we're the only national org that actually works boots on the ground with shelters, sending people in, doing training, providing resources, really trying to figure out how to help them with whatever resources they have available. And our team has all came from shelters. I started 25 years ago as a kennel attendant in my local shelter, worked my way up to director, and then moved on to Best Friends. Lauren's brand shelter is here in West Virginia. So we definitely have a good idea of what it's like to work there at all levels of life-saving and resources. So our main goal is to help shelters get over a 90% safe rate, meaning that 90% of the animals coming in get a positive outcome. They generally call that no-kill, which sometimes has the connotation where people think that means that we think we should never euthanize an animal that comes into the shelter. The reason it's 90% is because we understand that some of those animals that come in will be injured, ill, dangerous to release to the community, and we'd never want those animals to suffer or put your public safety at risk. So we give kind of that 10% leeway of thinking that's about the number that would come in that probably just aren't savable. Sometimes shelters get higher, but we know it all depends on resources and what's coming in. So really what we want to do is just get to the point where every treatable or rehabilitatable animal coming in gets a chance to go back out. So here in West Virginia, one of our most recent kind of big projects, we started working with the Harrison County Animal Control in 2024. At that point, they had the lowest save rate in the state. We started them, their life-saving mainly had a problem with cats. They were getting in lots and lots of cats without a positive outcome. So we helped them develop a community cat program to try to just fix them, put them back out where they came from if they were healthy and thriving there. We worked with them at vaccine clinics to try to cut down on the illness coming into their shelter. We also provided some resources to incentivize transfer partners to pull animals, and also to provide vouchers to the community. So if they went into a situation where typically they would have taken an animal for neglect, if they felt like it was appropriate, they could offer them a vet voucher instead to get treatment and then check back in with that family later. So hopefully keep pets with their families. They went from the lowest save rate in the state to an 84% save rate by the end of 2025, or by the end of 2024, which was a decrease in 88% in euthanasia for the shelter. And then they hit their 90% this year in November. We've also helped Parkersburg with some sanitation and also community cat programming. We paired Greenbrier Humane Society with Kanawha Charleston Humane Association for our mentor program. And then we've also worked with Mineral County and Boone County, just helping because they're single animal control officers running their entire shelter. So we've helped them a little bit with if they get overwhelmed with intakes, kind of pulling animals out of the shelter to get them to partners to help get them back. So then I'll turn it over to Lauren to talk more about Nicholas County.
Hello, I'm Lauren. I am a West Virginian. I was born and raised here, so I'm very passionate about the shelters here in the state. So thank you guys for having us. There's a graph in your packet that's kind of showing you where Nicholas County is right now with just their intake numbers and their save rate numbers over the last 2 years, so 24 and 25. So as you can see, the intakes are decreasing, which is a good thing. Save rate has increased for both dogs and cats from 2024 until the end of 2025. It's difficult for us to say which type of animals, like how the animals are coming into the shelter, due to we don't have the data for how many strays come in versus surrenders versus cruelty cases. However, we do know that intake is down, which is a good thing. The shelter actually took in 349 less animals than in 2024 and 2025. So we've seen a 12.6% jump in animals saved. That being said, there are some more lives that could be saved, and that's why we're here to just provide some options and support always. So in order to save more lives, you either need to increase outcomes or lower intakes. And some ways that we could increase outcomes, specifically at Nicholas County, would be just improving some sanitation, so that keeping animals healthy, adopting out healthy animals will lead to more positive outcomes, lower expense to the shelter for vet bills. Adjusting adoption hours would also be helpful. I know your hours are during the week and there are no weekend hours, I don't believe. So that would allow more adopters, to come in and visit on the weekends and adopt, rather than trying to make time to come in during the week if they're working. You could embrace open adoption, so open adoptions will remove some barriers from adoption, so trying to work with the adopters to find the right fit for them without doing, home checks and landlord checks and vet checks and things like that. We can discuss those things in a conversational manner rather than making folks feel like, they're being grilled and questioned when they come in to adopt. To lower intakes, the big one is community cat program, which Stacy kind of hit on. So on the next page there, kind of a breakdown of kind of what is considered to be a community cat. Some people call them feral cats, some people call them free roaming cats. They can often be used interchangeably, but basically we call them community cats. So any cats that are outdoors, and that could be cats that have owners, that are indoor outdoor cats, that could be feral cats that, you know, don't want people to touch them, or friendly stray cats who have strayed away from their owners. They can live long, happy lives outdoors, and, you know, there are a lot of well-meaning people who catch them and think that they're better off in the shelter than they are living outdoors. Unfortunately, a lot of those cats are under-socialized, so they don't do well in a shelter and they're not adoptable. Also, a lot of those cats can come in and, you know, contract illnesses that make them unadoptable. So we at Best Friends are big proponents of trap, neuter, vaccinate, and return. So the trapper would have the cat, take them to a clinic somewhere to get them altered, vaccinated, and ear tipped. If you're not familiar with ear tipping, it's something they do for cats who are getting altered to let you know that that cat's already been spayed or neutered. You don't need to trap it again. So that would definitely cut the numbers of cats coming into the shelter, therefore cats having to be euthanized. The National Animal Care and Control Association states that picking up healthy free roaming cats is a misuse of public funds and should be avoided. I did include some articles in the back of the packet that you guys can review at your leisure, just about TNR, how it can affect the community, how it can save money for the community. And then, so moving forward, you know, we would love to help develop community cat programming at Nicholas County Animal Shelter. You know, we would be here to guide along the way as a resource. You know, we would be willing to meet as often as we needed to with the shelter staff. We did come up with an offer of support to provide new stainless steel cages to help improve the sanitation. I know right now there's plastic cages, those are porous, they're very difficult to sanitize. So just making that change could cut down on the illness you're seeing in the shelter, which could make a difference in your adoption numbers. So that's what we're proposing, is to, you know, just kind of have an open relationship to work with the community cat programming, some training with the staff if they feel that is needed or we feel that is needed, and that offer of support for the stainless steel cages to help cut down on the illness in the shelter.
So a quick question with the trap, neuter, vaccinate, and return aspect. Typically, I think the complaints we get, and we've got the animal control officer and both of the shelter employees here, is we're gonna get, you know, cats using a bathroom in places that are undesirable, gardens, you know, flower pots, things like that. The actual smell of cat urine in areas. How do you deal with that?
The good thing is that altering them removes, number one, the smell of the urine that's so strong with the nail cat, so you're gonna get that away. We also usually provide deterrents that can help mitigate this issue. You can get one kind of deterrent that sprays water if cats come near your flower beds, and one that does like an ultrasonic issue to keep cats, deer, whatever you want out of your flower beds. You can also use, there's these little things called scat mats that are like pieces of plastic with little plastic bumps on them that cats don't like to walk on. So you
Gotcha.
put it underneath your mulch, they step in like, oh, that's not where I want to be. As well as our team of shelter support can do cat mitigation training to talk about, like, if you go into a property looking at, okay, if the cat's always coming this way, walking on their car because he wants to go to this neighbor's house and eat, talking to that neighbor about, let's move your feeding station to the other side of your house. Try to encourage the cat that it wants to go a different direction.
Gotcha.
Or putting out, sometimes it's a complaint when if they're drawing wildlife where they feed them. You can actually feed cats on tortillas, and then that way they or another kind of wildlife eats the tortilla too, and it takes away all the mess
Gotcha.
and doesn't poop it out. So there are multiple ways to try to talk through that.
That's one of the, so one of the biggest complaints I get out of this, the city of Richwood is the stray cat program, and I think there's a little bit of a battle there that I've heard directly from the residents and even from the animal control officer is, you know, we're trying to reduce that cat population. They're feeding them and getting them to come into certain areas. You know, you have the people that I think maybe through education they could do better, like you say, with strategic placement of the food that they're putting out or however that type of thing works. But I think we're actually having a little bit of an internal battle, honestly, on something like that.
So, and when you look at, when they've done studies, they call it the vacuum effect. That if you remove the cats, it's like the theory, if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again without getting results.
JJ said.
Because, you know, when I started in sheltering, every trap cat came in, we euthanized them because we couldn't put them up for adoption. It didn't stop the cats from coming in. You were
It
never
doesn't
gonna
matter
catch
what
up.
me or JJ does up there, it's it isn't gonna help nothing. I mean, if we go and trap 20 cats, you still got 400 up there.
Right.
And
Well,
then, like, you know, you pull them and then more cats are like, oh, hey, there's a good food source here. Maybe
Right.
there's a dumpster into a restaurant or somebody feeding. So more cats move in, but if you alter them, they're more likely to stay there.
Right.
So eventually you do start taking the population down if they're getting fixed and they're keeping new cats out of their territory.
Gotcha. And the biggest thing we're having discussion for is we have SCTV here, so you have folks actually will watch this on TV so they can kind of understand the overall goal here. So when you start implementing the trap, neuter, vaccinate, and return, how long are you thinking it's going to take before something starts to stabilize? We're probably talking a year or two, right?
It's definitely a few years, and
Yeah.
it takes some time because you have to really, you can fix every stray cat that comes into the shelter and put them back.
Mhm.
But it's always good if you have like a volunteer group or something that can be like, oh, we've taken in 5 cats from this block or this house. We need to target that area and try to get everybody out of there. So that's usually where like Jackson County pairs with a TNR group who if they fix a cat and put it back, then that TNR group goes out and tries to figure out like the hot spots of where the cats are living.
Gotcha. And is there funding available for that as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, for the whole program.
And we can also always look for, if, you know, vets are a scarce resource in most parts of the country, so we before went and like just tried calling every local vet to see.
We have a really good relationship with our vet,
Right.
really good.
Something else I was gonna ask. With the steel cages, stainless steel cages, I guess those are pretty much the same size, they would kind of fit into the same area, we wouldn't lose number of
Yeah,
cages.
I already sent them the measurements and
Yeah.
all that stuff. We just
We-
kind of more or less needed that was okay. Because I know you guys had questions of like what was going to happen with the old ones or if they would just come take them or yada yada yada.
And then are we locked into anything program-wise? I know Kayla and I talked about that. Are we locked into anything? Is there something like, if we start implementing something, do we have to, follow a certain procedure or process after that? Because we wouldn't want to be, in
Yeah.
violation
So
of any
I know
agreement.
the requirements that they sent me with it was they came in and they trained us on how to properly clean them and stuff, and that's phenomenal. I have no issues with what they needed, and they do require me to send in my monthly intakes and data and all of that, and I do that for them.
Cool.
So.
So it sounds like you guys are doing a lot of the things already.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, and one thing, I mean, we never make anybody work with us forever, like that's
No,
not.
no, yeah, no.
Like if, something isn't the same and you're like, oh, this is not working for us, like, but also, I know that you don't have any electronic record keeping.
Yeah.
And that's something we've done for shelters before too, is pay for the startup of a shelter management system.
I would love
And that makes it
electronics.
so much easier because you can track who's coming in, where they're from, why they're being euthanized. You can pull out a heat map and say, oh, here's where all the stray cats came from, here's where all
Yeah.
the stray dogs came
Yeah,
from.
because Sam, me and him run into that issue is where we do everything by hand. So in 2025, I had a dog come in like 3 or 4 times. Well, here recently, JJ's been dealing with the same dogs, and I'm like, well, wait, I know the owner, I have his number, all of that stuff, but I have to go dig through like stacks of paperwork to try and find it for him, and it's inconvenient as all get out.
Yeah, and the
So-
shelter management software, you could just type in the name of the owner or the address and it would bring up.
The same thing for taxes and rabies that we have to do.
Yeah.
It's like we have like a stack of.
Yeah. It's just, and then like we had that guy come in and like he was wanting to charge that guy that supposedly trapped his cats and brought him in. Well, I don't know how to tell him if someone brought his cats in. And I'm not digging through stacks of paperwork. Knows they doing it.
Because he was like, it's been there for the last 3 years. And we were
Yeah.
like,
Or if someone calls and they're like, hey, I adopted my dog 2 weeks ago, can you tell me the vaccine history? And I'll be like, well, we gave it to you, sorry. Like, if they lose their paper trail, we don't have it,
And,
So,
and
any
you
concerns?
have,
It was asked about cats, like the only time I actually pick up cats is if it's like a cruelty case. Like we get called out for dogs or something like that, and there's cats in the house, I will get them then, but as far as like you calling and saying, hey, I got a cat in my driveway,
Right.
we don't pick them up.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this would hopefully help minimize the complaints and all that stuff.
Yeah, and like another thing is like in city limits, there's a leash law. So like I can understand if someone's dog's over in your trash, he should go get it, there's a leash law. But out in the county, there's no leash law.
Right.
So why are we picking up dogs just because it's running through somebody's yard?
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no laws against that. So why are y'all wasting the gas and the time and everything sending in to get them?
Right.
And it And our municipal team does some training on prioritizing calls to say like, yeah, if it's a dog running at large call, by the time you drive to that dog running at
It's
large, he's
gone.
not there.
Yep.
It's gone.
So it's just wasting time,
Yeah.
so you can kind of, that'd be like a priority.
Yeah, so I
five,
feel
and
like
priority
if it's
one
not
would be dangerous.
vicious or like trying to eat somebody or killing livestock or something, why are we wasting the funding to go get it? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And 90% of the time, they're not there, or like they've already went home.
And I think that's where another aspect that you guys would probably be able to help us with is an information campaign. Because I think JJ's job description gets written daily by whoever's making that phone call in to what he
Yeah.
needs to do and what he should be doing.
The actual code is if they have a tax tag on, we can't pick them up.
Right.
If they don't have a tax tag on, then they're considered stray.
Right. So that would definitely help out as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I see a lot
That
of
would
benefits in the
lower
partnership.
intakes a lot too, because there's no point in him going and picking the dog up if there's no law against it. I don't care if that dog's pooping in somebody's
Right.
yard.
Yeah, they'll condemn him. I mean, our animal control officer catches a lot of flack for stuff that's way outside of his scope of work and even the legal aspect, the law.
And I think it's just
Yeah.
the community, like you stated before, like we need to retrain them
Mhm.
of how these things need to be.
Right.
'Cause- and then, like there's actually a law that like if your female dog's in heat, like you have to contain that dog. You know?
Right.
There's so many laws that people just don't know about, so.
And the one that blew my mind, I'll probably misquote this, but if an animal's hit and dead by the road, that animal's just hit and dead by the road.
We don't pick that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and folks, they get really upset with that one as well, but is that something you guys would be able to do, is help with like a campaign like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, we have
Okay.
marketing
Like,
people.
help
to
us
Yeah,
do
education would help us a lot.
retrain the
regular marketing and social media
Yes.
to, post like, I know Harrison County's been doing like, I think once a week now they're sharing like, here's the actual law.
Yep.
In West Virginia or Harrison County, like here's what we can pick up, here's
Yeah.
what.
Now, I know we've talked in the past too, to where like if I'm full, I'm full.
Yep.
Like if it's an owner surrender, do not take it. And I understand, people are, they're driving down the road, they find a stray and they can't just keep it. Like I can wiggle around that, but like owner surrenders, like I feel like if I am full and I have a bunch of good dogs, I shouldn't have to go kill them just because somebody doesn't want their dog.
Agreed.
So I have been doing wait lists on those, and then sometimes I have people that just come in and they won't take, I'm full for an answer, and they're like, well, I'm not taking this dog back home. And then they just, I just don't know what to do. Like, but if I have, now, I do have mean dogs sometimes, or dogs that's not good with other dogs. I understand that I can go back there and euthanize that dog and make room for their dog, and I will do that. I have no problem with that. But if I have nothing but good dogs back there, they should not die because you don't want to keep your dog.
There's people that think she should have 5-6 dogs per pen, and that's
Yeah.
not easy, that's
And
not.
I've got all them other kennels down there that I can't use because of the drain system.
Right.
And then people are seeing that, and there was a recent public complaint about that we have 7 to 8 kennels open and no dogs in them.
Right.
But they don't know that I can't use those because the drain system, they
And
won't
that's-
work.
And that's nothing Mike can do, that's with that, remember I was telling you
Yeah.
about that trap?
Like
And
those
that's-
boards will just have to come up, and there's really no way of doing that unless we shut down and we have someone come in and take the whole flooring up. It's bad.
And I think the biggest thing is what it boils down to is lack of responsibility on any pet owner's behalf. It's a
Exactly.
cute little puppy, a cute little cat, and all of a sudden when that puppy and cat starts pooping and being bigger and all this and that, they don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's not our problem. And the other thing
So-
I try to explain to people is a shelter is not something we are required to have.
I would say they probably have a 10% of cat return
Right.
at the shelter. I'm not up there much anymore, but I would say when I was there, it was probably 10% of the people that adopt cats bring
Right.
back.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they're not cute and
so
cuddly
like,
anymore.
we're all on the same page to where if I say I am full, I am full. I do
Right.
not have to take that
Correct.
animal. Okay.
And you don't have to take the
Deal with
attitude
whatever
about it either.
Backlash
Yep.
comes.
Yep.
Now, if I can fit it, I'll fit it. I'll
Right.
do what's necessary. But like some dogs, they just don't deserve to die because they're irresponsible people.
Right.
I can come and red tag your cages if you want me to.
Yes, we need to do something.
And that drains nothing you can do, Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
Not that-
We can at least tag it and people can see it, you know.
Maybe
Yeah.
work on a grant or something for that so we could open that up if that's something that would be feasible. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
you guys would know that, not me, but.
Like small dogs do okay in them cages, but
Yeah.
you get anything in there with any kind of poop, it's.
Right. Rough.
And now I've got the one side on the insides. If you even spray one kennel out, then all the ones on the other side start
Start filling
flooding.
up,
And I'm
yeah.
like, well, what am I gonna do with this smell and all this poopy water?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
So I would make a motion that we enter into the partnership with Best Friends Animal Society.
Could I make a counter motion just for legal to review any requirements and agreements, just to have an outside opinion of looking through it.
Do you want to just amend Gary's motion to
Pending legal review?
pending legal?
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there's a
We still
motion.
have extra time.
Is there a motion on the floor? Is there a discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Did y'all leave a card with our legal team right here, just in case they have any questions?
Hey, JJ. Hey, JJ, could you grab Bobby?
What's that?
Could you grab Bobby?
Yeah.
Catch up quick.
Okay, we have Clerk Bobby Painter, Robert Hamer, who would like to discuss the bank account with us.
The honorable clerk.
Yes, the honorable.
And the name.
Our auditors brought to our attention that we have one bank account, Community Trust Bank, that has a little signature on it. Gene called Community Trust Bank, you get the signature cards, and they will want to have it in the minutes. Who's supposed to be on that?
Who would you like on the bank account?
You, as president, the sheriff, and myself. Which is state code, they want it.
Okay. So is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So the motion has carried, and we put myself as president, Sheriff John Evans, and Robert Painter on the account. Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we are back online. He's online. We have Jimmy Riston, professional engineer, service line manager, and Paul Maddox, chief growth officer for CTO Engineering. Would like to talk to us. I guess that's you, gentlemen.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to address the County Commission this morning. Paul Maddox, Jimmy Riston, as you know. We work for CTO Engineering Company. It's a company that will be 100 years old next year. We've been around a long time, about 450 people. It's an employee-owned company. We've been in West Virginia since 1980 with an office in Morgantown. And Jimmy and I are getting an office started in Charleston, West Virginia for the company. And it's a full-service company. We offer all the infrastructure, water, wastewater, roadway, bridge. We have architectural services. We do trails, regular hiking trails, that sort of thing. About any type of civil engineering, geotechnical engineering. We do core borings and the actual geotechnical engineering reports. And we started helping the city of Bluefield about 5 or 6 years ago. And since that time, the city of Bluefield, we've been able to work with them. They've received about $50 million in federal and state funding for that period of time for their infrastructure work. And what we do, we're an engineering company, but we do assist. We have a grant writer that's part of our staff. And we do assist counties and cities in preparing grant applications with doing preliminary engineering work that you actually need to put budget figures together in your grant applications. And we've been very successful with that model in Bluefield. We recently helped the city of Beckley and WVU Tech. We were able to fund them in the neighborhood of about $12 million in federal grant money for what they're calling WVU Tech Campus Corridor Improvement Project. And that project is supposed to be done in construction next month. And we were talking about, we don't want to get too many clients on our hands.
Right.
But we sure would like to, I think I met Garrett Cole over in Mount Hope one day, as I recall. But we'd like to help certain communities that we handpicked. We thought Somerville's got a lot of potential. Everybody's got a lot of infrastructure needs, and nobody's got a whole lot of money to address those needs. So we're the type of company that we can take it from thought all the way to construction. And it's a little different from the other engineering firm. We've got architectures, architects, and we can take it from the beginning to the end and assist you every step of the way. We would go to, as needed, go to city council meetings or come to commission meetings. If you got questions, you got an engineering firm available to you for technical guidance, and we help you identify projects, prioritize them, put the applications together. And I want to stress that we don't replace the regional council. Okay, we're an engineering company. What we do is we'll put the documents together for them and let them submit them. They do the administration of the grant project. So nothing really changes other than you've got an engineering firm that is assisting you from the beginning to the end. Do you have any questions? Yeah, both of us are former West Virginia State DOT cabinet secretaries.
Absolutely.
So we got a lot of experience, particularly when it comes to transportation type infrastructure.
Which puts us in a unique position. We know the rules and we have the network.
Mhm.
You know, both our senators are on our speed dial, both our Congress folks. So we can reach out and have a conversation with these folks, and it's not a bureaucratic circle.
Right.
You know, we can help cut a lot of red tape in pursuing those grants. And also, you know, we've got really good relationships with the region development councils, the New River Authority also as well. We've been working with them in the Beckley area and the Bluefield area, and some over here in Summersville. We just had a conversation with Rodney LaRose, and he was telling us, why aren't you helping us?
Right.
So I said, I'm in. So
Resource, absolutely.
If you're interested, we can provide you with an advertisement that it's open to competition, of course. And, you advertise for qualifications from engineering firms. You all review those. You generally shortlist 3. They will come in and do presentations. Then you select one that you feel is most qualified to help you.
Yes, sir.
And if you would like, we can provide you with an example of one, Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, ran an ad not long ago. That's a good ad. But if you're interested, we'd be glad to share that with you and look forward to possible opportunities in the future.
Absolutely.
No, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'll just pass them down for you.
Sorry.
Yep. Makes it a little easier.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks, sir. There you go.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate you.
very good to see you.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the estate of James Milam II, file number 10881, discussion of dismissing a claim against the estate. Mr. Painter.
I'm back.
The honorable.
And we have Lori now, who's executive. I believe this is Mr. Armstrong.
Yes.
Armstrong, who's an attorney for James Houston. He filed a claim against the estate, and at the time, it listed James Milam's trust account on the appraisement. Since that time, Ms. Milam has filed an amended appraisement. I believe she talked with her attorney. And we need to dismiss that. I'll send that over to your lawyers and Mr. Armstrong.
And so just for recap, of course, in the estate appraisement, the trust account of the business trust fund.
The law firm.
Of the law firm.
Yes.
Was listed, but then since removed, since it's a
James
technically
Houston
still a
has
separate
paid,
entity.
Retainer
Mhm.
to James Milam.
Mhm. But it was removed because it's a separate entity from the individual versus a
Correct.
company. Okay.
That's our belief.
Okay. And that paperwork's already been filed in your office?
But the claim is still there.
Right.
All right, who'd like to begin?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Thanks, sir.
My name is Daniel Armstrong. I represent Mr. James Houchin. As the Commission's aware, my client paid $2,000 in retainer to the law firm of P.K. Milam shortly before his untimely death for services. After that, he contacted The law firm was unable to get a hold of anybody, and so we filed this claim. To the best of our knowledge, the law firm only had one owner at the time. We're not aware of any receivership or anything like that, so it is properly included as part of the estate. And my understanding is there is no money to pay the claim meeting retainer funds that my client paid were not paid to the retainer, into the trust account for the law firm. And what we're looking for is basically something that says that it was either never deposited or was spent someplace else. And then we'll take it from there.
You want to say?
Yes. Name of the sign attorney. Real quick.
Oh, sorry.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm that in this matter, in this hearing, your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do. As executor of his estate, I have no bearing on his law firm. I know nothing about it. I wasn't involved in any of it, so I couldn't tell you where the money went. So that should have been filed with the PLLC, and I have, and the state has control of the trust. I don't even have control of anything. So, anything else?
You guys have anything? Do I,
Just, they're two separate things, so it's not him, that's the individual to the LLC, so.
Right.
And it's not the estate anymore, but if there's no money. But you can, I think Scott Stanton's the one who's, like, working his stuff down. You file a
Yes, it
lawsuit
was Scott
against
Stanton.
the firm. I figured you could, yeah, I figured you could. So
I just need the document.
Yeah,
It's
like
not-
yeah, we just do an order dismissing the claim, saying it's not there.
That's fine.
And then, I'm sure, like you said, we'll file a lawsuit against the firm and deal with it then.
Yeah.
So that's none of you guys.
It sounds like more of a civil matter.
Yeah.
It
is.
100% is. I
Yeah.
just have to have the documentation says that we did this and there's nothing there. That's it.
It's just checking the boxes.
Understood.
Anything else?
okay, will there be a motion?
Thank you.
Is there a motion on the floor to dismiss the claim against the personal estate of James Milam II?
I'll make that motion. This is file number 10881.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion has carried. And you'll prepare, who's preparing the?
Yeah, that's our counsel.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
And you're back.
Mr. Armstrong.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Adds to estates. We do it all.
This is the state, Jay.
Okay, the estate of Frankie Jane Scott, file number 9745. Also discussion of dismissing a claim against the estate.
So this was, it appears to be our mistake, by us, I mean, the county clerk's office. This is the estate of Frankie Jane Scott. A claim was submitted against the estate on April 6th, 2020, and the claim deadline expired on May 6th, 2019. So we're just asking, we accepted the claim, there's no way to get involved, we're asking to dismiss that.
Could you state those dates again? I'm sorry, I couldn't
It
hear
was
you.
a year apart.
A year apart, a year after the deadline.
Yeah.
Okay.
The claim was accepted on April 6th, 2020, and the claim deadline had expired on May 6th, 2019.
Okay.
11 months past.
This was just an error on our part. We need to fix our error, please.
Okay, is there a motion on the floor
Can I see that real quick?
to dismiss the claim against the estate of Frankie Jane Scott
By DCM Services.
by DC Lumber Services? How much was it?
DCM Services on that, U.S. Bank National Association.
And it's clearly past the
I'll make that motion to dismiss this claim.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor, is there a discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
has carried. cases dismissed, we need to have a word.
Yes. Let's do it.
Thank you, Mr. Painter. Okay, we'll send Jason in. Jason?
Yes, sir.
So we have Jason Odell, Director, and Lindsay Brady, Grants Director of Day Reporting Center, on the annual CC grant application for DRC.
I got some paperwork rounded up for you all to sign on this.
So this is the annual DRC grant. This year we requested 110,274, and it basically just covers the salaries or part of the salaries for staff. Same as always.
Commissioner Roberts is here, this for the board members. Signature on that, please.
Next we have the co-op agreement. And the certification is for Craig.
Yes.
There. Yep. We'll take it out to him.
Okay, do we have a motion on the floor to accept and sign these grant applications?
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Two places?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank
And
you.
then you're still up.
Yeah, I was gonna go get her if you all were ready. Yep. Dave was coming, sales was coming down, but I don't think
Let's hurry
he
and
was
get it before he gets here.
Let's
hurry up, get it before he gets here.
Donnie's here, so that'll work. We just wanted to come for you all today to tell you our pick, the board's pick for assistant director, and that would be Tia Martin. If you all have any questions or agree.
Yeah, 100%. I think your position and all your experience in the past is definitely perfect. It lined you up for this this role.
Yes.
And then you could provide, like we'd said in one of the board meetings, you can provide training to your replacement.
Yes.
So you kind of do two roles for a while.
I think she ought to get up there and tell a little bit about herself.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
Come on up.
No pressure. We're easy to deal with, trust me.
Put you on the spot.
Yes, she did. Oh, now we get her, she has the camera out.
My name is Alita Martin. I've been with the Day Reporting Center since 21. I started from the bottom. I did 100 hours of community service for interning. And then my last day, they said, no, you're not going anywhere. And then I just continued to be there, and it's my home away from home. I love everything about the program, and I can't wait to help more.
Right. Definitely appreciate that. And I know you're working on
my master's,
the
yes.
educational aspect of it.
Yes.
Definitely look forward to that as well.
And I'm still waiting for the letter. Something about that, it doesn't close until April 15th, so that they're not giving anyone letters of acceptance until then. But I will give to Jason, or I can give to you guys.
Yeah, just work through everything through
Okay.
directly.
And you were already working on that even before this?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Sounds
should be
good.
completely graduated by August
Awesome.
of next year.
Won't come soon enough.
That is true.
Yeah. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. Welcome aboard and congratulations.
Thank you.
Go to accept.
Do it. Okay.
Okay, is there a motion on the floor to accept the will of the board of the DRC?
Make that motion that Tia Martin is the new assistant director of the Day Reporting Center in agreement with the board.
There's a motion on the floor, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, we have our favorite, Ms. Lawson.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
little bit warmer today.
Are you gonna talk to us about everything on the list?
No. So we have 2 items related to the Hinkle Mountain Broadband Project. That information has not yet been received. We've had that on the agenda the last couple of meetings. We've asked to table it. We'll ask to table it again today. And we will not request it on the agenda again until we have it in hand.
Just kidding.
It's gonna be,
Okay, so you wanna talk to us about the Birch River Public Service District?
Yes.
Keener Ridge project.
So we have for you today, resolution number 1 for the Birch River PSD's Keener Ridge Waterline Extension Project. This will be paid through the Community Development Block Grant Funds with which the commission sponsored on behalf of the PSD. We have 2 invoices, one from E.L. Robinson for their preliminary engineering report design to date, and then some additional mapping and other special services in the amount of $69,500. Also reimbursement to Region 4 for some advertising that we did for the PSD as they were procuring E.L. Robinson as engineer, totaling $69,686.67. Or I'm sorry, this copy isn't very clear. It's $59,685.67. The E.L. Robinson invoice was $59,500.
Are you, I guess 2 questions. What is the total amount E.L. Robinson's engineering is going to be for this project? Do you know that right offhand?
I can find it out very easily. Give me just a moment.
And then question 2 would be, are you happy with this much billing at this point?
Yes. And I will also share with you that this project was required to go through the Infrastructure Jobs and Development Council. They reviewed E.L. Robinson's proposed fees for this project, and those fees have to be within a certain curve. If they are not, they have to provide justification as to why they are not. They are within the curve, and so we do have, confidence that their fees are reasonable for this project. Almost there. The sum of their fees altogether is $325,000. $20,000 for preliminary engineering, the PER, the preliminary engineering report. Preliminary and final design is $110,000. Bidding is $15,000. Construction inspection services is $120,000. Construction admin is $25,000, and additional services is $35,000.
Okay, what was your
Yeah, they are actually making really good progress on design. Pretty much have the concept of the project laid out to the point that the PSD will soon be able to actually start procuring easements and submitting permits and that sort of thing. So they are making really good progress very quickly.
Okay, is there a motion on the floor to accept resolution 1 for the Keener's Ridge project?
And just for clarification, I can see the printing issue, but it's $59,000.
It is $59,685.67.
So I'll make a motion for resolution number 1 of the Birch River PSD Keener Ridge Waterline Extension Project. And that is a total of $59,685.67.
No, 6.
$59,685.67.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Is there anything the commission needs to sign on this, or just for approval? Is the version he's signing clear that it's only $59,000?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
I was trying to find it here real quick, but I'm struggling
Make a
to
special note.
pull it up, but, the PSD was just some additional, funding was announced for a separate project just over the weekend for their Mill Creek Phase 2 project. I was trying to find out how many customers that serves. I think it's somewhere around 25. So that will be an additional 25 customers that they'll be able to serve within the next couple of years.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome, a lot of growth.
Yeah, yep. And also fully get another completely fully grant supplemented project for them.
Good.
So, that's all I've got
Very
for
good.
you. If you have any questions for me, and I did talk to Amanda on my way here, she will jump on momentarily to see if you have any questions regarding broadband.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you all need anything further from me?
Just a copy.
Oh, okay.
When do you think, we haven't done an MOU agreement yet on the broadband in
There, sir.
Richmond, okay.
Not the project.
For which?
For-
Angel Mountain.
You have. Yes. Yeah, that was accomplished some time ago. I can send that to you.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Yes, it's all three of us, please.
But I know that you have not for Reconnect.
Okay.
Okay, we're back on, and we have Amanda Smar from Region 4 here to discuss broadband project, Reconnect project. Okay, Amanda, what do you got?
Absolutely. Good morning. So, as you know, the most recent development for the Nicholas County Reconnect Broadband Project was USDA requested a variety of different changes. The legal counsel for the project has looked over all of that and submitted a legal proposal letter that hopefully USDA will be able to accommodate. So that legal proposal letter had 3 separate options in it. That has been provided to USDA and it is under review. Once we have some comments back from that, we'll provide those. We have requested that process be expedited in the interest of time for the project.
Are you thinking days, weeks, couple days, several weeks?
Our impression is that it will be within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully sooner than that, but we don't have anything concrete.
Yep, understood.
We're hoping it's not a prolonged review.
Right.
And then just
So the process that'll happen is once USDA reviews that, they will then redraft the grant loan agreement, and more than likely, we won't get a response from them until they send the updated grant loan document, and then the commission will have to reconsider those documents at that time, and that's when we will probably figure out which option USDA was able to accommodate.
Now, most likely they'll pick one of those, or they could come back with an alternate option, or?
They could come back with an alternate option. You would think most likely they would probably pick one of the ones that has been laid out to say, hey, this fits within the structure of the project itself. That includes the county commission, the building commission, the procured ISP. Because the way it was laid out, it really lets USDA know, hey, this is how this project can be structured to fit within the confines of the project itself. So they hopefully will pick one of the options that were provided.
And the reason I ask that is they pick something that's already been agreed upon, then hopefully that'll speed the process up a little bit, where we're not going back to the drawing board and re-investigating the entire process.
Well, and we really don't have the right to renegotiate after this.
Right.
From the USDA standpoint.
Correct. Yeah, our understanding is this is the last iteration.
And then just some housekeeping, there was a special meeting, regularly, not regularly scheduled, but properly posted, special meeting of the commission last Friday. In conjunction with a properly posted meeting of the building commission. So all parties on our end are on board, and we're just waiting on USDA to respond.
Good decision.
But that's how we were able to get a response back to the USDA of what we and our council in Region 4, especially Amanda and then also John Tuggle, were able to propose as ways that the commission can statutorily be involved in this as we try to complete it.
Anything else?
Nothing else? unless you have any questions, we'll be happy to try to answer those.
Okay, thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you wanna call?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna do that before Commissioner's comment.
Yep.
Okay. I have some comments as needed. But I do want to request a executive session concerning contractual matters of the commission. And so under State Code 6-9A-4BA, I request that only the commission, clerk, and legal counsel retain in the room, please. And Assistant Brady for the commission. Just the commission. Yeah, just the commission, clerk, and legal counsel. And it's 10:37 a.m.
Okay, we are back. Do I have a motion that we come out of executive session?
I'll make that motion. It is 11:14 a.m. No decisions were made during that executive session.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay, we are back. We have commissioner comments.
Okay. A few quick notes. Want to give a note here of someone that does a lot for our community and actually got recognized. Channel 13 News has something called the Remarkable, I think it's Woman Award. Hold on 1 second. I don't want to say this wrong. Anyhow, it's Remarkable Women of the State of West Virginia. I believe she's a finalist. Yeah, she's a Remarkable Woman nominee at this time, but it is Miss Donna Griffith of Legacy People's Place. She has been with that board ever since it started back in the 90s. She and her husband Farrell do a lot for the community center itself, just keeping the lights on and burning bright, and also the Food Resource Center, the ramp feeds, the Meet the Candidates. It is a partnership with our Homeland Security for a emergency shelter should that need ever arise. And so, just a wonderful person, a great friend to my family for many generations, but also just a great friend to that community more especially. And so glad to see her get that recognition. We have had on the agenda many times now some board appointments for the Nicholas County Parks and Recreation Commission as well as the Health Department. And, you know, when I first became a commissioner, we couldn't get anybody on a board anywhere. And then here recently, we've had a very good track of keeping our boards full. But anyone from the county that might be interested in being on the Parks and Recreation Commission, which is responsible for the Veterans Memorial Park, please contact a commissioner or our office to be considered. And also the Nicholas County Health Department. You have to be a registered Democrat from the Cherry Magisterial District. And that's a statutory thing that we like to honor. You know, it's not one party or one magisterial district has control of that board. If anyone would be interested in that. And then also just a notation for the public, the Nicholas County Commission is now in, for lack of better words, control of the Fenwick Mountain PSD. That board has been vacated by its previous members due to age, so on and so forth. This was not an abandonment of the system, but rather just it was time for a change, and unfortunately there's just no one else available or eligible to be stepped up to that board. And so we are under control of that PSD right now, and it's going very well, and thanks to the tax office, the clerk's office, Assistant Brady, President Chapman. It's running very smooth, and the intention is to get the PSC to rule. There's a whole statutory process we're in the middle of. It is a subsidiary system of Richwood, And Richwood is willing to assume that system as a second system with different tariffs and things of that nature. But as you'll start to see more and more information about that, we are in control of that system and working to designate it to the Richwood Waterworks system as soon as possible.
Anything else on your side? Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion on the floor, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.